Hello, all. This is Dr. Dave Maslak talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I want to talk about PhD research topics. And why is it that typically your PhD advisors are not going to give you a research topic as you start moving on with your doctoral research? So if you don't know me, I'm a professor of innovation, strategy, and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people that helped me out to get my graduate degree and actually allowed me to become a professor that I wanted to create something that was beyond me, that was larger than myself, right? So first of all, there is many different ways that you can personally select a research topic for your PhD. I actually outlined some of these in some previous videos. Just go into the show notes. There's some links there. You can look at them, one of them, and you could look for this. Just go into the reciprocity page and look for where to start with your research topics in a PhD. What are some research paper topics? 10 good research topics to explore, and you can look for those videos. They're very helpful. I went into some of these details and what you can experience, so you can find some of these research topics for yourself. So now, what you'll notice when you watch these videos, and please do go watch those videos, they're pretty helpful, is you will notice that I am not telling you what to do. There's no way that I would ever tell you what to do, and I don't think any good advisor would ever tell you what to do. So early on in your PhD, in your first year, you're going to probably get your PhD advisors are going to sort of give you pretty heavy-handed and say, do this one particular thing, and that's it, right? Later on, they should be telling you not. They shouldn't be telling you anything, and they should be just giving you guidance whenever there's a question that you have, and they can help you answer or sort of figure out the solution to that particular thing. So, why is it that they actually do this? And this is a really big thing for those of you who are transitioning from undergrad or a master's program to a doctoral program. This is probably the biggest thing, that the biggest difference there is between a doctoral program and somebody with then graduates with a doctorate from those that are doing sort of an undergraduate or a master's degree. In those degrees, you're given the information, you're given that particular thing that you should be doing, right? In an undergrad, you read the textbook and you're taken for granted that this is the science. This is what it is all about, right? Like this is everything. In your master's program, you're given a lot more of that, but it's a lot more in depth, and it's really nailing it down and hammering it down and getting like really in depth. And then your PhD, there you'll learn that we just say, you know what, all that stuff is wrong. We're making it up as we go, and you have to figure out how to solve that problem. At the end of the day, that's really what it is. We're making things up when you are doing research. We're wanting to do good research, and we want to do good science and figure out the right answer. And we want sort of valid and reliable science, just like anybody else does. But we get into the nitty gritty of it. We sort of poke holes and we say that this is all, a lot of this is wrong. There's assumptions that we make that are not necessarily all that good that we make. So in my undergrad, we use the ideal gas formula all the time, or the ideal gas law. And so I was a chemical engineer, and it was PV equals nRT. Really simple thing. The trouble is it didn't, and it was predicting like, so P is pressure, volume is related to temperature. And we were trying to sort of figure out like what time does pressure goes up, or when does pressure go up when temperature goes down. The trouble is that nice, neat, really beautiful formula that is used so much in chemistry and chemical engineering, it actually rarely applies. And there's a ton of moments where it doesn't apply, and you have to find that out. And this is where you, at the tail end of my undergrad, they were kind of alluding to kind of this stuff. But at the beginning, they're like, this is what the world is, and these are the formulas of how it works. But then at the end, you're alluding to, and eventually when you do your PhD, you realize that everything is made up, and we're all trying to come up with better answers than what we had before. There's not really a good answer to a lot of things. There's better answers than what we have before, but there's not a perfect answer. And that's your job, is to go out and find those research topics, find those things that are you think are better, And a good advisor, a good PhD is never going to tell you what to do next. They're not going to tell you the topics that you should go study. There's lots of different reasons for that. The first one is it's immensely personal what you find interesting and why you should do the thing that you're doing. If somebody tells you what to do, you're probably going to not do that particular thing, right? You have to be motivated to do that particular thing. So you have to figure it out. So if you're doing something and you're interested in a PhD in finance, for example, go find out what's interesting in a PhD in finance. Nobody's going to tell you what that thing is. And there's so many things that are interesting, and the world is changing constantly. 10 years ago, we did trading. There was human traders that were trading things on the stock market, and that was a big thing. That does not exist now. The vast majority of the trading that goes on in the stock market is done by machines, by computers. What are the implications of that? We have no idea what these implications are, what's going to happen in the future. I think it's going to be cool, and there's some amazing things, but go and study that, figure that out. Figure out, go if you're interested in a PhD in finance or a PhD in whatever in business, go talk to those people that are losing their jobs because of the machines that are coming into play, or maybe the new people that are coming in and doing some amazing things. How are these machines actually changing the world? I mean, there's so many things that you can be doing, and I guarantee that's not going to be interesting to a lot of people, right? And so maybe you're more interested in the personal finance, or maybe you're interested in what's going on in a hot dog stand, which is really interesting because not a lot of people do this kind of stuff, and you can figure out a lot of stuff that happens in a hot dog stand. Go and do research on that. Go and figure out what's going on in the state of the art. Does the financial market and how we understand asset pricing apply to hot dog stands? I don't know. Maybe there's something really cool there, right? You have to go out and do that. Maybe there's something that's happening that's a wonderful in Rwanda that nobody knows about and that you know about. Well, go and do that. That's your job to go find that thing. What the advisor's job is just to say, yeah, that's not a bad idea. And maybe you should pursue that a little bit more. Or, I might not do that particular take on it, but I would do this particular take on it, right? It's a very personal journey, right? And you can't do something unless you're wanting to do that particular thing. And this is the second thing that I learned and strongly learned this is I can get people to, I've got a million ideas that I'd love to do. And I can sort of suggest somebody to do that particular idea, but they're not going to do it. They have to actually want to do that particular idea. They have to be motivated and they have to take responsibility on the research that they are doing. If they don't take responsibility and ownership, it's never going to get done. If I didn't start doing this silly little reciprocity project, none of these videos would have gotten done. I am personally motivated to get this done because I think it's interesting and I think it's kind of worthwhile. There's nobody else doing this kind of stuff. So I'm going to do it, right? So it's your job and to do as a good academic, as somebody that's interested in doing a PhD, get out there and do the thing that you're supposed to do. You do the discovery and you do the work. That's really what it's about. And that's the major difference. You're going to experience this. Everybody experiences. I'm just warning you. I'm just giving you the pep talk. Everybody experience this transition from when you're an undergrad and a master's student to a PhD. You're going to go through a moment where you're like, I haven't got a clue what I'm interested in. Well, start thinking about the thing that you're starting to get interested in. If you're interested in inner city finance, go study inner city finance. If you're interested in, I don't know, whatever it is that you're personally interested in, the world is amazing and kooky and crazy place. Go find out that amazing and kooky and crazy things that actually can make a difference in this world. That's your job, is to go out and do that. All right. So with that, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye, guys.